Welcome back, Fox 51. Good Day is your local election headquarters. Former President Donald Trump has been named the president-elect, beating out Harris with 277 Electoral College votes and on the way to beating her possibly with the popular vote as well, a feat that a Republican president has not accomplished since George W. Bush did it more than 20 years ago. And with all that being said this morning, Smith County Republican Chair David Stein now joins us as well here in studio to give his reaction to what he saw last night. David, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
So with everything that took place last night, your reaction this morning?
So I feel like Rocky Balboa at the end of Rocky II saying, "Yo, Adrian, we did it." It's euphoric. We haven't had this for a while. 2016 was great. You know, I've lived through 2008, 2012, 2020. This feels really, really good. The red wave everybody thought was going to happen in 2022 that didn't, it happened last night.
What was the moment last night where you thought things were starting to turn in Trump's favor?
Honestly, early, because everything moved. It wasn't just one area, and it wasn't just the president. It was the cruise race wider than everybody was looking at. It was every single local and state race that we were following. Even the judiciary races had a much wider spread, and those are lower profile races. It had a larger spread than people were anticipating. So this was a seismic shift across the nation and not just in Texas.
And why do you think that is?
I think people are tired of the vitriol. I think they're tired of the demonization. I hope it's a message that people in our state legislature picked up last night, is the American people on both sides, they tried to demonize who Donald Trump was, and he kept talking about policy. Look, we have to get the economy under control. Yeah, but Trump. The border is wide open. We can't sustain this. Yeah, but Trump. And people just, they weren't listening to that message. I've looked at Facebook this morning and a lot of folks' comments, and they still don't get it. This was much more about Donald Trump. He became the face of the movement, but Ted Cruz winning by a larger margin. When people are calling it, you mentioned the UT Tyler poll, who usually is pretty close, and they're talking 2 or 3 points, and then we get this 9-point spread that comes into it. So all the way across the board in every state, we suspected the Senate was going to flip. And when I say we, it's not just people locally here, but when you have as many seats up as you did this year in this Democratic cycle, this was the year that we had a really good chance to do it, but it's still executed on the plan. Every swing state, you look at the beginning of the night where these swing states, not only are they just in play, it's not like we're down by 3 or 4 points and we're within earshot, but we're dead even at worst or ahead in every other one. So the statistics kept piling up saying this is going to finish as a really good night for us.
And, you know, with those battleground states, Pennsylvania, of course, was the most critical one for Harris or Trump. Trump won that. He did really well in Pennsylvania. The numbers indicate that. Why do you think the turnout was in Trump's favor so much?
Well, and it's similar. So I went to college in Pennsylvania.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
And so I'm looking at a lot of the comments from people, and it's quite mixed. But it's the same message, is that when we go back to 1992, what was the message of the Clinton campaign that Carville created? It's the economy, stupid. And when you keep saying Donald Trump bad, Orange Man bad, and I can't afford my groceries, it's white noise. They're not listening to it. And so I think the fact that you keep focusing on the issues, that's what people want. Stop the charade. Stop the nonsense. Let's have politics look a little bit less like professional wrestling, and let's get things done for the American people. Stop trying to demonize people who are in the political arena, but also the extremism of some of the Democrat policies. Again, the border, it pushed past a point of what was reasonable. You look at the issues that are going on in some of our school systems, thankfully not here in our local area, but still, stop indoctrinating kids. And it does go on. Let's teach kids how to think, not teach them what to think. On what planet does it make sense to hamper your law enforcement, to try to tell these people, I'm sorry, you can't do those things? Yes, there are some bad eggs anywhere in any industry. You have that. But our law enforcement people have to have the ability to do their jobs. When criminals have better weapons than our law enforcement people have, that is a problem, and it affects your safety and my safety.
Okay, David, thanks so much for coming in. We always appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it here.
Good night.
As Donald Trump has been elected the 47th president of the United States, the AP has now called that race, and we're going to now go to our weather with Braden here on this Wednesday morning.